So to start at the beginning, first was the bookmobile, with dear Mr. Gildersleeve, who brought me books he thought I would like that no one else wanted to read, and wooden ornaments he made because I was a craftsperson too. Then the bookmobile program was dismantled. Instant dismay. An amazing group of people devoted to books in Montauk were determined to get us a library of our own. They were the first trustees, but they couldn't do it all, so the Friends were born. At first, we were a lot of retired couples who knew the value of a library, young mothers who saw what their children were missing, and a bunch of avid readers like me. We met at the Catholic Church School and had home-baked cookies. Stephanie was first president. I met people I would not have met ordinarily, some becoming lifelong friends. Somehow, I became an executive board member, helping to write a constitution from a handful of samples from other friends groups, and I volunteered for a book committee. Plans for a library were underway thanks to the trustees and the community church, which owned the little cottage next door. We were offered books from the library system and the bookmobile, so we decided to hold a sale before there was an actual Montauk Library. The first book sale committee meeting was at my house. Steph knew all about book sales and how we could borrow fish scales to sell books by the pound. And she already had another volunteer working to organize the books. That volunteer arrived early at my house with a punch bowl, bottles of ginger ale and iced tea, cartons of sherbet, and a large bottle of liquor. The meeting went downhill from there, but I still wanted to help with only a few weeks before we were scheduled to be on the green. At that point, we somehow had use of an empty office upstairs at the security building on the circle near White's. The door was open and cartons of books were in the hall and piled in the center of the room, an unsorted, unboxed, unaccountable mountain of books. It got done, and I got promoted. Now all we had to do was get the books down the stairs and over to the green. This is where Brian Cohen comes in, and stayed in, invaluable, irreplaceable, and so important to any success we might have for 40 years. A carpenter, a builder, a family man who reads history books and plays in a brass band. He was in charge of moving the books, borrowing trucks, renting them when needed, getting everyone he knew with strong backs to come help. He also built and carried tables for the cashiers and the books, braces for the scales, stairs to help load, shelves and flooring when we had storage rooms of our own, and even installing windows in a shed so we could pass cartons of books through. I would have been lost without him, and his wife Debbie, who gathered our first yard sale section in their backyard, and she came to be our official national anthem singer. But back to the first sale. Brian had pickup trucks and tarps to cover the cartons and strong friends to set up a bucket brigade line on the steep stairs. We were in business. People came the next morning to unload cartons to buy books to help the new library. I have no idea how much money we made, but it was enough encouragement that we decided to have another sale that same summer. This time, Steph and Suzanne Gosman made it into a real book fair with baked goods and an auction and kids' games. We needed fences and banners and signs, posters and publicity, and lots more volunteers. And this time Brian brought a really long plank of wood to go down the stairs so we could slide the cartons instead of carrying them. We did this for a few years, but one year no one showed up except Brian, the plank, and his 2 little daughters. "We can't do this," I said. He looked at me, then the little girls, and said, "It's them or us." But people eventually arrived and kept coming wherever the books were stored. Maybe they came for Brian or the snacks Donna Etzel provided for break until the last carton was loaded for decades. Donna also brought generations of family to do the lifting, father, husband, brothers, and children. And like magic, scores of other people, friends and strangers, showed up early on the green the next day to unload the cartons of books. Community effort at work.